And yes, we're live from Fisted Paradise! Oh, that's kind of how I feel today. Oh my gosh. Let me get set here. Yeah, they're like, look at this. I got hair. I got straight hair. I'm going to need a new wig already. This wig has kind of like crapped out on me. But then again, it was only 99 bucks. So yeah, I have to look at it that way. I wear the damn thing every day, and I'm out in all kinds of weather. And like, am I surprised it's starting to unravel? And like, I have strands coming loose and everything. And it's like, no, I'm not really surprised that this is happening. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it has been, wow. Last 24 hours has been nuts. The reason this is coming out so late, it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in Harrisburg. And the reason this is coming out so late is I have been in Lancaster since about 7:30 this morning, which meant I left here about 6:45 because our league was helping volunteer on a race for EB, and I can't pronounce the name of the syndrome. I'm going to do my best, but I'm probably going to mess this up. So, EB, just look up EB. It'll help you out. One of our coaches, she has a child that has EB. So, and I really didn't have to do a lot. I stood out on a path today and went like this. This is why I have this long undergarment on, because it was cool for the most part today. And then yesterday I was down in Lancaster for First Friday, which I almost completely screwed up by forgetting to bring flyers and coupons and stuff. And I got bailed out. I was only 20 minutes late actually getting stuff out. So it was me and somebody else. And I've got to plot out my course today and figure out where I was at. But yeah, I got a little punishment for that. But that's okay. I screwed up. It was my fault. And I apologize profusely to everyone involved. And now, when I promise that I'm going to be the pivot for our First Friday, I'll know exactly what to do. So I won't do that again, Yeah, it was my mistake. I screwed up. And I even talked to my teammate who brought the flyers, and I was like, how can I repay you? And she's like, don't worry about it. We talked about it. And she was like, yeah, I know. This stuff had sometimes happen. In fact, after I did First Friday yesterday, I went out with 3 of my teammates. We went to see Aquaman at a $5 cinema. Yeah. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. It wasn't one of the Zack Snyder Murderverse films. It was actually pretty good. I liked it. It was nice and bright, and Jason Momoa is an affable person. And seeing Amber Heard and Nicole Kidman in pretty much skin tight outfits, yeah, that did it for me. It's funny. It's like after we got out of the movie, I went with my teammates Doom, Venom, and Megapixel. Yeah, you don't get to know their real names. Only I know their real names. And after they're all like talking about Jason Momoa, I'm like, yeah, this is what happens when you're the only lesbian going out with a bunch of straight chicks. You guys are all talking about Jason. I'm sitting there staring at Amber Heard. Oh yeah, Mira is like, she can manipulate my water any day. But also, I had practice on Wednesday, practice on Thursday, which were light practices because it kind of hurt. And I had a scrimmage on Monday where I'll talk about that later. But anyway, yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days out of 6 now I've been in Lancaster. This is why when my lease is up here in Harrisburg, I'm considering moving down there. Why not? Because I'm doing a lot of stuff with the league, and all the league stuff is down there. So if I'm going to do stuff with the league, it makes sense to actually be in Lancaster. Like I've said before, people have told me this too. There isn't really a whole hell of a lot holding me here anymore. So, yeah, why? Maybe it's time for a move. I need a change. One change of scenery from Indiana to Harrisburg brought out the real me. Maybe another change of scenery from Harrisburg to Lancaster will bring out a better me. We'll see. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like insane. And then tomorrow, I don't go to Lancaster, but I go to Reading. And that reminds me, I said, I actually told a couple of my teammates who were there that they're playing, and I'm not. I'm going to be observing. I'm not on the bench roster. I'm only on the roster as an alternate. And unless I hear something by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I will not be playing tomorrow because you can't change the roster for 24 hours before the bout. So if I don't hear anything by like 4 p.m. in like another 3 hours, I will not be playing. Yeah. So, but I am going to take my video camera and I'm going to try to film. And both my teammates were like, hey, that'd be a good idea. Thanks. So I'm going to try to do some filming from the sideline. Yeah. And then Monday, I got to go back for Monday night practice. So I will actually, if I was having Sunday practice, I would end up being in Lancaster 6 consecutive days with a day off, and then I'd be back for Wednesday. So this is why I'm considering moving down there because it's just, I got to fill up like every 2 days when I go down there. So yeah, I can't keep, doing this. It eats into my gas. It eats into my finances, limited as they are. So yeah, nothing on the job front today, although there might be. This is going to be interesting. Rachel from the Snarking Dead, she contacted me yesterday. As I'm driving to Lancaster, I'm like conducting a bunch of business on my phone while I'm driving like a maniac in the rain, trying to get a hold of, flyers and coupons. And she's sending me this. And it would appear that there is another website who, one of their writers brought the Snarking Dead to the attention of one of their main people. So they were asking Rachel if she and or I would be interested in writing for them. Now, she writes for the Inquisitor. So between the Snarking Dead and the Inquisitor, her writing time is all filled up, but I don't write. So she passed it along to me, and she said, probably what they'll do is if you decide to take the gig, they'll pay you in hits, which can be good, which can be bad. It's like, sometimes you'll make $50 a week, sometimes you'll make $500 a week. It really depends on how many hits you get. So I sent a message back to the person who had contacted her, and I said, yeah, I'm interested. I would be interested in writing for you, and I want to check out their website and everything else. So he wrote back and said he wants to arrange a time to have like a Skype interview and we'll talk. So I may not only have a paying gig for writing, and even if, $500 a month, I get to keep like 350 of that. I mean, $500 a week, I get to keep like 350 of it. $50 a week, I get to keep 40, but that's gas for the week, So there's a possibility I might actually have a work from home job where writing is involved. And we'll keep looking at that. I have not done anything with a Patreon yet. I keep saying, oh, I'm going to do something with a Patreon. And every time I keep saying I'm going to look at it, I never do. But I've been getting nagged, not by anyone in particular, but back in my head, about this one story I really want to write. Even though, yeah, it's probably not much of anything. It's probably never going to go anywhere. But it would be something to put on Patreon. And it's seriously, I have like 3 or 4 things I have to do this week. I'm not joking. I have like 3 or 4 things I need to do this week coming up. In fact, there's something I need to do today and tomorrow. Probably do it tomorrow, but Jesus. My time management skills of late have really been poor. Especially now that the second season of Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is out on Netflix, and I'm like, it's time to binge Sabrina. She's back. And it's like, yeah, but you also have to do your taxes, and you also have to see about getting plates. You also have to see about filing for Social Security and all this other stuff, none of which I've done yet. It's like, oh God. Oh, geez. So I really need to get all that done, but I'm going to pencil in trying to look at a Patreon today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. I'll pencil it in for tomorrow. Look at a Patreon and see what that brings. Yeah. And then maybe write an original story that doesn't involve mermaids. Because I know some people are like, Cassidy, I don't like your mermaid stories. I'm not into mermaids. Well, tough shit. I am. I'm into all sorts of weird stuff. Let's just put it that way. Some of my friends can attest. Yeah, I'm into some strange things. I should write some of those stories. Watch you back the fuck away from me. As you can tell, I'm in a good mood. Even though last night was something of a disaster, I still had a good time. Even though it rained. I have done 3 First Fridays in Lancaster for DDR, and 2 of them, it rained the whole goddamn time. And apparently this is like an ongoing joke at DDR that First Fridays, it always rains. So I'm hoping the next First Friday is May the 3rd, because it's the first Friday in May. And, is there anyone we know who's having a birthday in May? Especially May 3rd. Is there anyone we know? Well, I mean, Carrie's having a birthday on May 3rd. You know, fictional Carrie is having a birthday on May 3rd. And so's Coraline. Yeah, they're both having birthdays on May 3rd. Now, Coraline's birthday, because I originally based her character off of Christina Hendricks, I took Christina Hendricks' birthday for Coraline's, and Christina Hendricks was born on May 3rd. Yes. But Carrie's, whose birthday did I use for Carrie's? Oh, yeah, that's right. Mine. Yes, my birthday is the 3rd of May, 3 May. First Friday in May. And it's also the first Friday in Lancaster. So I'm actually going to talk about, I'm going to say I want to work that first Friday. And then when first Friday is over, yes, Lynette, I know, you know. And when that first Friday is over, I'm going to actually see about stopping off and having a drink and having a little something to eat and asking if any of my teammates want to join me for my what will then be the 62nd birthday. I'll be 62 years old. And by far the oldest member of DDR who's actually skating and playing. And I got to watch it. When I say I'm going to have a drink, I mean, I'm only going to have like a drink because The chances are pretty good I'll be playing the next night. So I'd say the chances are pretty good I'm going to play the next night. And that will be our last game of the travel season. We were supposed to have another game in June, but something happened. So May 4th, there's a pretty good possibility I'll be playing. And tomorrow actually starts like 4 bouts in 5 weeks. Plus we have 2 more scrimmages at the end of April. So it's going to be crazy. And I know I am playing next Saturday. I am for sure playing next Saturday. I will be on the bench. I will be the alternate on the bench. I will not be affiliated with a pack. So it's like, Nomi, go in. Nomi, you're going in. Okay. So, and then the bout after that is hard. Keeping my fingers crossed that I will be on the bench for that roster. So I'll be on the bench for that bout. So, which, considering I'm only 10 minutes from the rink, please put me on. If I'm not hurt, I want to play. And I've really been like, whenever I feel like, oh, I can't practice tonight because I'm just going to hurt myself more than I already am hurt, I pull myself off. That's what I did this last week. Wednesday, I went out and did like a couple of laps, and I came back and I told Mayhem, I said, I'm going to pull myself off. She's like, okay. As I said, it hurts when I'm trying to skate around. I said, I'm trying to like do eggshells around the track, and it's starting to hurt. So I pulled myself off, and I actually helped out running a couple of drills. Yeah, I can do that. And then Thursday night I went down and I did half a practice. I did the first hour of practice, and then things were starting to hurt a little bit, and I pulled myself off. I said, I just gotta bring myself off for this one. So I did a few exercises, which I have to add into my exercise account. And that's it. Now, Monday night we had a scrimmage. Last scrimmage before we start bouting. In fact, Blitz will play tomorrow, and then we'll have our home game next Saturday. And we won't have another scrimmage until the Wednesday after that, and then the Wednesday after that. So I'm sitting there at practice. And when I say sitting, I'm not actually sitting. I'm standing around, but I'm there thinking, I'm probably not going to play that much. And then the strangest thing happened. Really, the strangest thing happened. They start, I'm going to call your name. And, I had to put on, I was on Team Black the whole night. Our scrimmage jerseys are red and black. So I was on Team Black the whole night. And it's usually what they do at the very beginning. They say, I'm going to call your name. If I call your name, you're black. If I don't call your name, you're red. And change and grab your stuff and go over to the other side, because we always scrimmage from the side where we would normally play, which is on the opposite side of the rink from where we work out. And then she starts calling out the packs. When we get over there, Blitz was all together. And she's like, okay, this is the pack. And surprise, surprise, I was in the pack. I think I was pack 1. I was pack 1. And I played the middle for the most part, which was something I've never done before. And because of the number of people we had playing, I had to be in the pack because there weren't a lot of folks to swap out. So the way we were playing between the blitz packs every other jam. It would be like the all-stars would go out, then the blitz would go out. So like every other jam, I'm going out. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then halftime rolls around. I'm still in team black, and they call out the packs again. And we brought all the blitz players together. So we had enough players that each pack had a swap out. You had an extra person, so there were 2 people swapping out. But I wasn't the person being swapped out. I was actually in the pack the full time. So basically, for the whole scrimmage, I was out every jam that it was possible for me to be out. Literally. If we played like 40 jams, I was out for like 20 of them. I mean, I have never done that before. I kind of did it at Battle of the Freshies, but that was split into 3 20-minute segments. So it wasn't quite the same because we played 2 30-minute segments like we're playing a regular bout. So I had plenty of time to rest up between. We only had like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to rest up between. And I was like, wow, this is really kind of cool. It was kind of tiring. And by the end of it, I was starting to hurt a little bit. And I actually came off the track at one point, right near the end. And one of my teammates who was one of the teammates who was swapping out, she saw me coming off and she just looked at me. She goes, "You want me to go in for you the next jam?" And I go, "Would you please?" Because I'm pretty sore. And she did. And it happened to be the last blitz jam of the night. So that was it. I went out for every jam except the last. Every jam that I could go out in. And like I said, it was probably like 20 jams. I mean, I kind of did that at Battle of the Freshies. But this was a hell of a lot harder playing than Battle of the Freshies. It really was. And I played middle for most of the night, nearly the entire night. It was real strange because it's not a role, it's not a position I'm used to playing. I actually don't feel very confident, or at least I should say I didn't feel very confident playing there to begin with. But one of the things another of my teammates said, she kind of like pulled me aside after I'd been going out a couple of times doing it. And she goes, "You're doing great. Don't worry about it. In fact, you need to stay in the center." And I said, "Are you sure? Because it feels like I'm not doing anything." And she goes, "Having you in the center is like having another anchor there. It really is." She goes, "You're hard to move. And if you can get in the jammer's way," yes, thank you, congratulations, I got from Lynette. But she says, "Yeah, if you can, just stay in their way," she says, "it's like having another anchor out there." Cool. I like that. So it's good feedback. And this scrimmage was not nearly as bad as the last scrimmage I was in, where I was just kind of flailing around, not knowing what I was doing. Which the week before was just, it was a bad week. So yes, Reading game tomorrow. Like I said, I won't be playing, but I'll be there. I'll be there cheering on my team and probably doing some filming. I'm going to have to charge up the batteries here to make certain, but it's something I do. I film. Why not? I'm not going to be on I'm not going to be playing, so do something to help the team out. I almost got to run merch. Yeah. Almost ran merch. Lilith is doing that, so. And then I'll be playing against Keystone next Saturday on the 13th. And then our next bout is on the 28th against Hart. And like I said, I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that because I want to be on that bench. I I want to be on that bench real bad. I do. I keep saying that one of the reasons I want to play against them is there's personal reasons, and some of it is I want to show them that I can actually do this. That some of the things that were said about me were not really true, but also the 28th. And when I say some of the things they said about me, there was a few people on the team that said things, not the team as a whole. It is my understanding there was a few people on the team that had some things to say when I decided to leave. So it's just sort of my way of kind of like closing that door, that part of my past, and saying, okay, I'm done with this now. I don't have to have any worries. I don't have to have any doubts. I've kind of like put that behind me. But there's something else that comes into play there as well, because the 28th of April, I was in a mental hospital on the 28th of April. 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. I was starting my 5th day out of 8th in a mental ward at a local hospital in Geisinger's hospital because of suicidal tendencies. And I was actually put there. Members of my team, then HARD, convinced me to go into the hospital. And so I spent 8 days there. And it was a bad time for me. It really was. It was a real bad time. yeah, I'm thinking about killing myself, When is that ever a good time? But there's part of that too, because I was such a freaking mess a year ago. Right around this time, I was like, you couldn't talk to me. It was right around this time that my friend, who at that time was the league rep, she actually came up to me and she says, we need to talk. And we went out and had a beer and a couple of appetizers. And she says, you're starting to scare the hell out of everyone with your talk about suicide. You're publicly coming out during practice and talking about killing yourself. And it's starting to scare a lot of people. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't mean to do it, but that's just how I've been feeling. And I've been feeling, alienated from the team and everything else. And that night, she actually wanted me to come home and stay with her. I did not have my go bag in the car, which was probably one of the reasons why I didn't go. I was like, no, I'll be okay. I think she was worried to let me go home. Because I remember around that when that happened, I was actually at practice crying because I had failed at my 27.5 again. And I was at practice crying. And I said, I feel like just going home and killing myself. I'm fighting not to kill myself, stuff like that. And I remember my teammate who I was telling this to is like looking at me like that, like, oh my God. And that's what really started it. Was she... I think at that point she went to the league rep, who was, this is in the middle of practice. She's like, probably like, Cassidy's got to kill herself. You got to do something. See, I can laugh about it now, but at that time I was just a freaking mess. I really was. And, going into the mental hospital was precipitated by being suspended for a month. And that led to a few things being said as well. So this time in my life last year was really bad. On top of which, I was totally frustrated with everything that was happening with derby practice, which was making things even worse. And I was kind of lashing out at people. And, seriously, I was getting to the point where I was ready to take a nosedive off my balcony because it was just getting to be too much. So that's part of it. Part of it is sort of like, a year ago at this time, I was locked up. I was on medication. I was getting therapy. I was having to go to groups. But mainly, I was being kept from killing myself. And now I kind of want to be on our bench for that. To say, in my own way, I'm so much better now. Found a league. I'm on a team. I'm playing. And part of it is due to them, due to what Hard did for me. Because if Hard hadn't done that for me, I wouldn't be here. I seriously wouldn't. And I know that. So playing against them kind of really shuts a lot of doors. It really puts a lot of emotional baggage away that I really need to put away. And technically speaking, this may be the only chance I ever get to play with them. I mean, outside of maybe a scrimmage, if I get invited to one, this may be the only opportunity I ever get to play with them. One of the players, after I left Hard, she and I still talk occasionally. And I said, the one thing I always wanted to do was play with you. I mean, seriously, be on the track playing with you. And I said, if it comes down to I have to play against you, it's still the same thing. And it is true. There's a few players on that team who I really miss not playing with them. So being able to play against them is kind of the next best thing. And this may be the only opportunity I ever get. Because who knows, next year we may not include them in our schedule. Next year I may not be playing. Next year I may not even be on the blitz, maybe. For some reason, I don't know what it is. But, a couple of times they're like, I'll talk about going out for the blitz next year. Because I will, me. I'm going to try out for the travel team. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be trying out for the blitz next year. And a couple of people have actually said, have you thought about trying out for the All-Stars? No. And my answer is the same thing. I'm not all-star material. I'm sorry. I don't really see myself as being all-star material. They play at a completely different level, really. From my point of view, they play at a completely different level. And each one of these players have been like, oh, I wouldn't say that. Don't think of it that way. Just, give it another year. It's like, do you guys really see something in me that I'm not seeing? Because I don't see myself playing at all-star level next year. I don't. I barely see myself playing at blitz level next year. Already some of the tots are starting to scare me. It's like, these guys are good. I'm going to have to step up my game, But, yeah, it's, I hear that and it kind of freaks me out. Because in my mind, I'm like, no. I see how the All-Stars play. I'm not ready for that. I don't think I'm even close to ready for that. But like I said, I've had a couple of other players tell me, no, you probably could do it. It's like, no. I think what they're looking at is like, well, you can always be an alternate. Yeah, but don't. want to play full time. And I think I have a better shot at playing full time on the Blitz. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's a year away. That's a year from now. That's like next January. I don't have. Let's start thinking about that now. We have to finish up our travel season. We got a bunch of bouts ahead of us. We got 3 home team bouts. We got open scrimmages after those, which crazy me, because when it comes time to say who wants to be on the home team, I'm going to raise my hand and go, well, I want to be on a home team. And then there's open scrimmages. So if I am on the home team, crazy me will probably also be. I'll do the open scrimmage too. Because I'm a masochist for pay. So I'll wait to see how January. January's a ways off. And January 2020. I'll worry about what travel team I'm going to be on when January 2020 rolls around, and they post that notice on the forum and it says, "Who here is interested in trying out for a travel team?" And I'll be like, I got to do this again. So let me try out. Let me be on the travel team down in Lancaster. So we'll see. Which is what I always say. We'll see. We'll see should be my middle name. And I'm really tired right now because I'm operating on like 4 hours of sleep. I swear to God, I'm operating on like 4 hours of sleep right now. I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning last night and I was up at 5. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to like make coffee or anything, which is stupid because I laid in bed, such as it is, for an hour hoping to fall back asleep before the alarm went off, and it never happened. So I just got up and then I realized, shit, it's 6:30. I gotta get ready and go. And I'm driving down to Lancaster, and it is cold and foggy and cloudy, and then I get out on a trail, and but it was fun. It was fun. I love doing stuff like this. Anything to help the league. In fact, one of the people who was helping out the race, she goes, "Are you going to come back next year?" And I says, "My league is involved. I'm involved." And I said, "I'm pretty sure the league will be involved, so I'm not too worried about it." It was a good team. It was a good thing. A couple of our players actually ran. 3 of them, I think, actually ran in the race today. So congratulations to them. And because I can't run. I used to do competitive race walking, but I cannot run. That's not me. That's not me, babe. That's not my bag, babe. Say, babe, that's not my bag. That's not my thing. I actually talked to one of the people. She's a tot who just got her 27.5. She actually skated 28 and a half laps. I think it's fast. And we were talking about it, and we were saying there was one thing that they had where you could have actually skated a marathon. And she's like, how the hell many laps is that? And I figured it out once before. That's not right. 5,280 feet. Oh, that's a mile. Hold on. So a mile is 29 and a quarter laps. Times 26 miles. I'm not even gonna. You would have to skate 760 and a half laps to skate a marathon. It's actually a little further than that by the time you figure out whatever 365 yards is. Yeah. It's probably like around 765 laps to skate a marathon. And I told her that. And I told her, I said, I think a half marathon is like it's like 335 laps or something like that. And she's like, that's insane. I go, I can't imagine doing that. I really can't. I could not imagine doing like skating a marathon speed for over 300 laps on the WFDA track. That would just drive me crazy. I said I'm tired after 27 laps, so you got to do that 27 in 5 minutes, and after that, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to call it a day. I think the most I've ever skated, I've actually done 340 lap sessions, which works out to 21,660 feet, which ends up being 4.1 miles. I've done 3 of those in one practice session. Probably the most mileage I've ever put on during practice was around that time. I've probably put on close to 5 miles on a few occasions. Skated 5 miles in a night. Because it's not hard to do. It really isn't. It's not hard to do. So, if you're doing a practice where there's a lot of skating, like I said, that night we did 340 and 10s. So that's 120 laps, 21,660 feet. So, yeah. Almost 5 miles. 4.1 miles. It's a lot of mileage. God, it really is. The things we do to hit bitches. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. Cutting this short because I need to eat. I have not had that much to eat. And at some point, I'm probably just going to collapse in front of the television. I'm probably just going to put something on and not give a shit if I watch it all the way through. And I probably will nod off in front of the TV for a while because I am tired. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any shorter. So you guys take care. I will talk to you next Saturday, which, by the way, will be Bout Day. Yeah. I have my Dutchland. Maybe I should wear my Dutchland jersey. I don't think you guys have ever seen you've never seen it on me. So, all right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.